Nice to have you with us here at Hot Topics. Today, we're ready to embrace our AI overlords, right? Instead of fearing them, right? Because we really want you to tune in to all our podcasts this month. We're going to learn how entrepreneurs can thrive with AI and maybe avoid those robo takeovers that you guys are all worrying about, right?
Haven't talked about AI in a while, so I'm excited. Let's get started.
Okay, so hello and welcome to all our fellow future moguls. Today's episode is one of 4 that we're doing this month, and this is about 2025 Entrepreneurs Survival Guide, right? So if you're listening in 2025 or if you time travel, if that's now a thing, then this show is going to teach you how not to get replaced by a shiny metal box, right? So I'm your host, I'm Faye, and today we're diving into that AI rabbit hole again because we know you guys love to talk about it. So fasten your seatbelts because your new boss might just be an algorithm.
Exactly. And I'm Stacy. Hope you didn't miss me too much. But this is the very first episode of, again, our 4-part series, But You Will. Oh, you will.
So today we're jumping headfirst really into the deep end of the pool, right? You know that technology just might replace us. That's what we're worried about. And that's why everyone's watching their backs, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's the one thing that's promised to make our lives easier or maybe obsolete, whichever comes first.
So don't worry. We're here to help you, and we're here to show you how you can be a brilliant puppet master behind that AI curtain. And then, rather than feeling like you will get replaced by a software update, we're going to teach you how not to worry.
Exactly. Because you know what? It's all sunshine and rainbows until your personal assistant has 0 need for lunch breaks and 1,000 times your processing power.
So if you guys are ready to dive in again, and why do we do AI all the time? Because it changes like every day, right? So it is basically the future. You cannot escape it no matter what you want to do. So I want you to buckle up because we're going to explore why it matters and how you can really harness that power for you. So if you've watched all these that we've talked about AI and you want to dip your toe, but you're still afraid, this is the podcast for you.
Yes, you need to jump in with both feet. So let's kick it off.
Right.
Why does AI matter for entrepreneurs in 2025? I know that sounds like a basic question, but seriously.
Well, it's easy because literally everyone and their grandmother is using AI. They're using it for something, whether they're automating customer service or finding, designing a marketing campaign, anything they need, writing emails, it happens in seconds.
Yeah, and you even used it, you put in like things from your cupboard and you even said, asked AI, like, what can I even make for dinner, which is crazy. And it gave you a shopping list, and that's amazing. I love it.
It really does work that well. So any question you absolutely have will work, right? So AI really touches everything you do. It's really the new measure, right? It's the new startup. It's that innovation. So if you're stuck in 2015, it's time to move forward.
Back in the day, I feel like there needs to be like what was that show?
Yeah.
Exactly. Into the back in time. Okay, so here's a quick breakdown of how AI can transform your life as an entrepreneur, right? So now we're talking about market domination. Everyone wants to brag. We use cutting edge AI. It's like the new gold star. It's like, hey, you're using AI, you get a gold star on your sticker chart, right? It's all good. Efficiency, cost, like let's stop doing things manually. It's all about automation, right? Less time on those tedious tasks and more time sipping my iced coffee, even in the winter, and brainstorming on that next $1 million idea. And you know what? The best part is that AI doesn't sleep, right? Unless your server crashes. But that's not the point, right? AI doesn't sleep. It works for you all the time, 24/7, right? And the other great part is your competitive edge. So if your competitor's using AI and they're optimizing every step of their process, then you better step up because you know what? The customers are going to go where it's easier for them. And then, of course, predictive insights, right? So AI can analyze, a gazillion data points in seconds, I think. So you can pretend to have magical powers at your next board meeting.
So that's basically a mic drop, right? Like
Yeah.
it does everything for you. So let's talk a little bit about that existential dread part, because AI is so great. It's so great. But does that mean it's going to replace us?
So let's be honest. AI is going to replace tasks, but the reality is that entrepreneurs who leverage AI efficiency are the ones who are going to stay relevant. So it's not about you or AI or this job or AI. It's you plus AI, right? It's in addition to what you do. It's your support system.
Yeah, and you really need to look at it as a partner, right? As your assistant. You want to partner with that bot, that robot, that chat GPT, or Chachi, as I like to call them.
Yeah, exactly.
Treat them nicely, because the truth is that you don't know where they're going. So I always talk to Chachi like I'm talking to my assistant or my friend. And that's the whole secret. You need to treat them like a trusted partner.
Absolutely. And you know what? Don't come back here, because we're going to say, I told you so, right? So
Yeah.
you need to embrace using AI today in the way it's meant to be used, right? So, all right. So we've talked about the theory behind it, but let's get into the practical, right? We don't just want to talk at a high level about, yeah, okay, it's great to use AI, blah, blah, blah. And we don't want to be all doom and gloom about it either, right? We actually want you to come out on top and use it effectively.
Right. So we promise you 10 steps, right, that you can start implementing like yesterday if you haven't done it already. And how many months now we've been telling you to go ahead and try it, get your feet wet. It's free. You can access it for free. You do not have to go to the pro level. So number one is to assess your pain points, really, because you know those tasks that so tedious that you question your career choices, right? You don't want to do it. That's your first clue. If you can find a process you don't like to do, that's when you offload it to your assistant.
Absolutely. So just think about it. If you're spending hours sorting through spreadsheets, or even doing spreadsheets, or bookkeeping, or whatever the case may be, or just replying to every customer email, it's time to think how AI can swoop in and save the day.
So, and a lot of you ask, what's the right platform? Because there's so many AI platforms right there. And not all AI is created equal, right? Some of them might be as powerful as a goldfish. No offense to the goldfish. But others might be just overkill. So it really comes down to what you need. But I can't recommend enough. Just start with the basics.
Yep. Start exploring. Log in, use the free accounts, start testing them out. OpenAI, meaning ChatGPT, or Chachi, again, as we like to call it. Gemini, Claude, there's so many different ones, but there's also smaller and upcoming ones, right, that might fit you better. So don't be afraid to jump in, do the test first. And then if you really like it and it's working for you, that's when you might decide to do that upgrade.
Yeah. And I mean, the key for using AI is your data, or data, depending on where you're listening to us from. That your data can be an absolute mess, and therefore it is very challenging for AI to figure it all out. So you need to clean it up and make sure that you know what you're feeding it in order for it to give you the proper answers.
Yeah. And just imagine. So this is like, just think that you could save a file, right, and have standard fields, right? So instead of like us, copy of copy of copy in the
programs. In our Canva account, and our marketing girl hates it.
So don't look at our Canva account. But just imagine, instead of, again, copy of copy of copy, or final reversion real dot final this and that, you could actually have consistent tagging, which would be a lifesaver if you're actually looking for a document you need.
Yeah. And you can use, if you get a pro account in Gemini or in ChatGPT, you can start using their filing systems, which is really great, because you can actually upload your files directly into that thread, which makes a massive difference. Yeah. So, key is to start small, right? Scale gradually. So don't try to replicate everything you have for day one. You want to focus on one or two areas and see if your new AI solution actually does what it promises, right? Because everyone thinks that if I'm going to jump right in, I'm going to throw everything at it, and that's not how it works. You have to figure out your voice and what works in order to get the right results.
Absolutely. And the only thing worse than a big fail is a big fail publicly, right? And that's what you don't want to happen. So you do want to start small. You do want to grow gradually. And again, try, and you'll get the results that you need.
The other piece that we really want to make sure that you understand is you need to train your team, right? Because AI adoption fails when your team doesn't really know how to use it or is afraid to use it, right? So you have to embrace it. You can't just say to somebody, go ahead and use ChatGPT. They need to understand how to use it. And it's really, really important that you understand the basics. So we do have a free masterclass in our hub. You can go ahead, join our hub for free and access it, but it will tell you the basics and you can share it with your team so they understand too.
Absolutely. And when you sign up and you put the computer in front of them and you say, hey, watch this, bring donuts because that will bribe them to come into the room. And there's a lot of stuff on YouTube as well, but I think the one that we did is amazing.
Yeah. And the cool thing right now is that especially ChatGPT, which is my favorite, but all of them do it to some degree, but ChatGPT integrates with existing tools. Yeah. So you don't have to reinvent things. You can hook it up with Zap. You can hook it up with Make. You can hook it up with Canva. Yeah. I just saw yesterday, I haven't even told you about this, but it integrates with CapCut. So for those of you who are into CapCut, it integrates with that as well. It'll integrate to your CRM and whatever else you need to. So you want to go and explore all those options and see what it can do for you.
Absolutely. So what we said before was making it work with you, right? You're not this or this, you're working together. So let AI do that grunt work. Let the robots do what they do, right? So that you can focus on the higher level tasks instead of having to do all those little things and grabbing your iced coffee on the way.
So there is an ethical component, right? And that's number 7, ethical and responsible use, really, because AI is so powerful that you start getting almost obsessed with it. And you don't want to be that person that starts spamming everybody at 3 a.m. with all their cool marketing angles, right? You want to use it for the tasks that you need to, but be very careful. Don't get crazy with it.
Do not go crazy. Nobody likes to receive those messages at weird hours. Nobody wants to do business with an evil overlord.
No.
So keep it human friendly. And that's what I think is really cool about all these programs is that they can literally mimic how you talk. They can mimic your personality so that it comes across being very human friendly.
Yeah. And with that, you want to really monitor the performance, right? You don't want to just take everything at face value because once you start realizing what it does, you just sort of do it and don't even read it because it's so cool most of the time. But you really want to build some type of dashboard for you to track everything that it does, right? So you can catch if it's doing some mistakes or weird patterns. So for example, if you're using it for your brand and you're doing social media posts, you need to make sure that it understood your brand first. Yeah. Because then it might give you some weird and wacky things that it shows up. You don't want to do that. So please, please, please monitor what it's saying. The better your questions and the better you get at using AI, the less weird patterns show up.
Absolutely. And maybe you need that data for maybe your investors or to show your clients all the stuff that you're tracking in regards to data. So tools like Tableau really work really well. They can create really fancy charts, which is really good, but actually pull all of the information into a chart so that you can show what's being done in the back end.
Yeah. And make sure you keep everything up to date. If you're using any of the programs online, it's cool because they will automatically update, but you need to watch and see what they've added in, right? Because all the old programs get stale. And if you're using those old programs, the old pieces, which is like 10 minutes ago, basically, if you use those, it's not doing everything it has the ability to do. So make sure you're always on the updated version of the software.
Absolutely. Because if you're using, let's say, slang from, 2022, which is, only a couple of years ago, now 3 years ago, I guess now, it's going to show that you're not cutting edge. So if you're saying, well, we've used cutting edge AI and you're using verbiage from a few years ago, it's not going to work and you're going to show that you're very old.
So, yeah.
Behind the times.
And really, really important. We're talking about this again because we're constantly telling you guys to go ahead and go on into AI because you need to prepare yourself for more disruption, right? AI evolves rapidly, constantly, every day. And if you stand still, you're going to be left behind. So if you actually start today, you are ahead of 99% of the population, and you'll be able to continue to see all the new rapid developing pieces and be able to use them rather than having to start from scratch in a year from now and trying to catch up.
Absolutely. And you know what? AI can even do your entire business plan in like 30 seconds, right? So that will help you prepare for even more advancements in the technology. So really staying on top of the game is really, really important.
So that's our top 10 list, right? There are 10 ways to really bring AI into your life without really feeling like it's invading you and you have no choices in the matter. That's how you start.
But hey, it can be fun, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So now that we've got those 10 practical tips, let's throw in some suggestions in regards to some tools that you can use so that you don't have to Google, is AI real at midnight and what should I use?
All right. Idea. So here's our hot list. CRM integration. There's the big guys, right? HubSpot, Salesforce, all of that integrates. Most CRMs do integrate at least with ChatGPT, a lot of them with Gemini, but take a look and see what you can use. Productivity and communication. Slack integrates really, really well. They have an AI-driven monitoring within Slack. You can use, if you guys are into corporate, Microsoft Teams with your project. We're not big Microsoft Team people, but you can use it. And, Google Workplace, Gemini, they all work. Exactly. Project management. Any project manager you use, whether it's Monday.com or Asana, I use Upbase, any of those, you can figure out how to integrate those AI bots that you do with your tasks and your resource collection or anything else you're doing. So very cool. We already talked about a little bit about graphics and Canva and CapCut. They all integrate now. So you can actually go into ChatGPT and say, I need to work on a presentation. Can you suggest the Canva template that I can use? And it will immediately give you what you're expecting. And then analytics, of course, you can integrate Google Analytics, right? That's a huge one. So everything is up and coming. There's so many things. Every time you turn around, like I said, CapCut, I just heard about yesterday. So every day there's more and more and more, and it's just making your life a whole lot easier.
Absolutely. And always keep an eye out for the new guys, right? The new kid on the block. You never know what they're going to come out with. There's probably a new one like every week.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm hoping, come on, maybe there's one that's going to come out that'll do my laundry.
Yeah.
Come on. Or my taxes, because looking at those yesterday too.
Well,
so I'm really hoping.
Will be. I'm assuming taxes is very soon. I'm not sure about laundry. But and remember, keep your ear to the ground in terms of trending tools. There is so many lists that you can get on in directories. I do follow Product Hunt a lot, and that is the one place that they go ahead and introduce the new tools that are coming out. We use AppSumo a lot. We are early adopters of everything in the marketplace. We get really good deals on it, and we get the cutting edge tools. So make sure you're aware. Easiest way is to just come listen to us every week, because when we find a new tool, we get so excited that we tell everybody about it.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe we'll just hop on the mic and be like, hey, did you hear about this one? Which would be really cool. Okay. So there you have it. That's how you embrace your new AI overlords without completely losing your sanity or your humanity, and maybe even making a little bit more money in the process.
Yeah. So we can't stress enough AI. But our next episode, we're going to be talking about how to spot emerging trends, because in 2025, there are a lot of them. We're talking about the metaverse, virtual influencers, space tourism. Who knows what else we're going to talk about, but there's a lot of trends and you need to keep on top of them.
Absolutely. So if you can't keep up, you'll be outdated as a dial-up modem, because I remember those days. And remember that sound?
Nightmare. And how about you got mail?
Oh, I remember that. AOL, exactly. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We're Faye and Stacey, reminding you to keep your data clean and your AI well-fed with updates.
Yeah, and remember, if your AI does try to overthrow you, then at least you heard it here first.
See you next time.
Bye.